If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. Before I get into this, Lady Gaga openly admitting to transforming, waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh my goodness, we haven't heard that before. I've only covered it for years, how 3 a.m. is Satan's hour, where they do demonic possession. That's when they summon these spirits at 3 a.m. That's why there's so many songs about 3 a.m. and the Eminem rapping about 3 a.m. and demonic possession. But before I get into it, I have a video up on my website that you have to see. If you're not on the website and you can't be on the website, then just look into it for yourself about what's going on in Austria, okay? They've announced in 2022, February 2022, that people who do not take the potion are going to be put in jail. I kid you not. Look it up for yourself. Those people will be fined as well, and if you don't pay your fine, you will also be thrown in. There are no exemptions except medical ones, which the doctors are not going to give anyone. This is very important that you know about this and you're aware of what's going on around the world, because it's eventually coming here, and it's eventually coming to wherever you might be watching this. So if you're somebody in Austria, my prayers to you and your family. It's absolutely an abomination what we're letting these people get away with. There should be citizens arrests. There are more of us than them. I don't know how much more people are going to take, but when you're telling me you're going to throw people in prison, that is just sick. Sick. So that video is up on my website at callforanuprising.com. And again, if you're not over there and you can be, I recommend you join. The forum itself is worth it. If you have a channel, you could share your channel and anything else over there, going on in your life, things you're seeing out in your town, whatever topic you want to talk about, everything's going on over there and everything's being discussed. And you, of course, can fellowship with other like-minded people. So obviously, as we see censorship continue to tighten over here on YouTube, the insanity of this, censorship thing is ridiculous. You can always have the website to interact with each other and share stuff. You can't share links here, so just make sure you check it out if you haven't. And again, I have exclusive videos over there. All right, so I saw this article, Lady Barfbag, and where do I begin? Lady Barfbag's got a new movie coming out, House of GUICCI. This doesn't sound satanic, right? All about the GUICCI, the crime that was committed, the wife. The GUICCI family is just another elitist family connected. There's all symbols in the trailer with the Masonic symbolism. But I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about how Lady Gaga said she'd wake up at 3 a.m. to begin transforming into her character, often throwing up from exhaustion and anxiety. That would be demonic possession. Does anybody, have you ever acted before? Would you have been in like a school play? And I know it's not the same. It's like, it's a big movie, but it's also Lady Gaga. And in the eyes of the producers and the director, she can do no wrong. So she's getting up at 3 a.m. to get into character, and she's throwing up from exhaustion. Now, I've covered this a million times if you're new to the channel. 3 a.m., right? Remember I covered the one YouTuber who was doing, you probably have seen these 3 a.m. challenges that YouTube promotes. The reason they promote that is because this is Satan's hour, and these planted YouTubers are telling their audience to perform Aleister Crowley's satanic rituals at 3 o'clock in the morning so they could become demonically possessed. And people look at that and they're like, oh, that's freaky. Ooh, but they don't actually believe it, but it is true. And they're using Aleister Crowley's books, and they're, closing their windows. They're putting black, they're putting wood up or whatever, over the window so no light whatsoever can get through in their apartments or their homes, wherever they're doing it. And then they're going through his rituals and they're doing it. That's how sick this world has gotten. And it's being promoted by YouTube. Yet other channels and channels like myself continue to get taken down for calling this stuff out. 3 a.m. is Satan's hour. I've covered this before. Ex-Satanists will tell you at 3 a.m. is usually where they perform rituals that involve, unfortunately, what's the proper term for the algo? Tragically, a child, right? Especially one that's coming out via, getting taken out, removed. That's all I can really say. And what they would do is they'd wait till 3 a.m., they get into deep chants and meditation, and they become demonically possessed. And they do all sorts of stuff with it, okay? Disgusting, disturbing things that can't really be reported on. And it's not a surprise that 3 a.m. is when Lady Gaga's waking up. And you might remember this wonderful. Where do I start with some of the other stuff with Gaga? You might remember, I don't know, how about this story of Lady Gaga in her hotel room performing a blood ritual? That's right. A maid came into her hotel room in 2012, and what did she find? Well, she found a bathtub filled with blood. And what did they tell her at the front desk? Ignore it. Block it out of your mind. Pretend it never happened. Well, of course they told her that. Why wouldn't they, right? Because this is all, it's a world set up for these people, right? They can do what they want, they can say what they want, and they get away with what they want. And then meanwhile, when people like me call this stuff out, they call us nuts, right? Because this is normal, right? You'd hear about this like your neighbor. Oh, yeah, my neighbor. Whoa, he was in the paper. Oh, what happened? Oh, you don't believe it. The plumber came over and the bathtub was filled with blood. And you'd be like, what? Call the police. That's what you'd say. But since it's a musician, of course, this is artistic barf bag behavior, and we're supposed to think it's wonderful and it's great. No investigation. No one's creeped out, right? Except the maid, who's probably traumatized, right? Lady Gaga is accused of partaking in a ritual after leaving a bathtub full of blood in a London hotel. This is 2012. The incident happened during the summer of last year at the Intercontinental Hotel in the capital. One of the hotel workers has now revealed their thoughts on the matter and said that the singer was bathing in blood as part of a ritual. Of course, they say the hotel worker went on to say Lady Gaga left large amounts of blood in the suite during a stay this summer. The incident was reported to the concierge, who was told to put it out of her mind. Right, because that's normal. Like I said, if you found your neighbor with the bathtub full of blood and you didn't call the police, you'd be, what is that called? Like, right? You'd be like helping the person. I can't think of the term off the top of my head, but you know what I mean? You'd be responsible for not reporting it to the police. But in this case, just block it out of your mind. It's Lady Gaga. It's Lady Gaga. I mean, you can't make it up, right? But it continues on. Remember when Lady Gaga was on Jimmy Kimmel, the Satanist Jimmy Kimmel, who does nothing funny at all except talk about global warming, which is hilarious, by the way. And, of course, pushing politics and telling people who don't have the magic potion that they shouldn't be allowed medical care. Nobody seems to care. Remember when she went on there and thanked Lucifer? Nothing weird about that.
Well, sometimes they don't want to, and they're, Gaga, we can't get, the frequency's weird, and, it's sounding a little bit strange. And I'm like, if you don't get this right now, I swear to Lucifer, I'm gonna, it's sounding a little bit strange. And I'm like, if you don't get this right now, I swear to Lucifer, I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's not weird at all. And, of course, recently, you remember I covered the black goo. She's got the video with the black goo, dripping in it, loving it, the crown. You could see the feral fluid. I mean, it's just, you can't. Can you? I guess you can make it up. Or you can't. I don't know. One or the other. I'm going to lose my mind over these people and how nobody out there actually sees that this is what's going on. Of course, you had her do Bloodbath at the VMAs. And then maybe my personal favorite, because this is my first video that I did. I covered Anti-Diary by Rihanna. It was all about the mark. That was what inspired me to start my channel. I said, I got to do a video on this. Right? And then, of course, I wanted to cover McMartin, too. But I saw it, and I just said, I gotta just put something out there for people to see. And the rest is history. Thankfully, people enjoyed the content because, I make content and don't do drama shows here. I just try to expose these people for what they are, which is wicked. And thankfully, my channel got to where it is. But the first video was about that, and she talks about the transformation. Now, this is actually Lady Gaga's voice. You might say, well, that doesn't sound like her. Well, that's because, someone's going to go, well, they ran it through some type of voice thing. And it sounds like she's pretty possessed. And she talks about the transformation that's to come. Because remember, that's a trigger word, transformation. They keep talking about transformation. You know why? Because humans are going to transform. And it's going on right now.
My voice is my power.
Your face emerges from the shadows.
I felt like
The transformation is coming.
the world will see
who I am.
I felt like a bit of darkness. We await the greatness that beckons.
So these are just normal things, right? This is what we expect from Hollywood and our celebrity heroes that everyone worships. They have bathtubs filled with blood. They're getting up at 3 a.m. puking all over the place because they have such an important acting role. I mean, I know all the guys in Hollywood are saying this. You ever remember hearing think of like a great performance in a movie. I don't know. I can't think of any really, but Did Tony Soprano and The Sopranos, he get up at 3 a.m. to get into character and puke all over the place? I mean, maybe he did. But I mean, it's ridiculous talk. And nobody's like, something's a little strange about that. Passing after, I mean, just the nonsense that surrounds these people. It's always right there. Bloodbaths, Satanism. We're saying out of our own mouth, the praising Lucifer out of her own mouth. Let alone all of the imagery we always see with her with the all-seeing eye, the 666, dressed up as the Baphomet, right? Can you make it up? I don't know. I mean, it's so obvious in our faces that if you don't see it, you have something wrong, really, in your head. Like, you just don't have a clue is really the only way to sum it up. And I don't mean to be mean, because you can end up having a clue. You just have to realize that you've been duped, okay, by these people. This is a cabal of people who are all related to each other, who are all controllers. They're social influencers. They control resources. They control money. They control media. And their job is to just dupe you, the duping delight, as they say. And they don't even hide this stuff, because every one of these celebrities, name one time I've covered a celebrity and it's been a stretch where it's like, oh, I don't know about that call. That's always there. They're always in bathtubs. They're always dousing themselves with blood. They're always holding up the 666, doing the All-Seeing Eye magazine covers, openly talking about Satan in their songs and in interviews and things like that. I mean, it's ridiculous how obvious it is. So I'd like to say, I mean, if you don't see it going on, then you don't have a clue right now, and you need to wake up. And if you want to ignore it, go ahead and ignore it. But our job, my job, at least, I feel, here on earth is to expose the wicked. And that doesn't mean exposing, YouTubers or people that I don't care for. It means exposing these people who flat out openly worship Lucifer, who are trying to influence your children and the youth out there through mind control and persuasion. They're all involved in politics, right? Every celebrity's liberal. I mean, does anybody see the common theme? It's unbelievable. It really is. So there's Gaga, puking at 3 a.m. And remember all the songs about 3 a.m. Matchbox 20, Eminem. There's lyrics. Lady Gaga has a song where she mentions 3 a.m. in it. It's talking about, what does she say? She says, I'm trying to find it. Hold on. 3 a.m. Lady Gaga. I had it open. I apologize. I don't like to pause. I like to just go. 3 a.m. Mustangs speed in, two lovers headed for a dead end. So, they're heading for a dead end in hell, that's for sure. But, 3 a.m., they all love that time. I haven't heard anyone mention 2:45. Anybody a fan of 1:30 in the morning? 11:15? I don't know. Always 3 o'clock. And then, of course, the connection when you check out what the occult does. You hear ex-Satanists admit it. You can read their occult teachings for themselves when these rituals occur. But it's all a coincidence, right? Yeah, and I was born 15 minutes ago. Whew. Anyway, I wanted to cover that with Lady Gaga. Again, make sure you check out the website. You got to see the stuff going on in Austria. Frightening stuff. I want to thank the Patreons. Because of you, it keeps me here on YouTube. So if you are a Patreon, I'm greatly appreciative. If you can become one, that would be great. If not, it's understandable. But thank the Patreons out there, because they keep the content here for the young teens out there, so they can see it and they can wake up to this. And hopefully we don't have a world filled with Satan-worshiping fools, that we can at least reach some teens out there who are going to be like John Connors, living amongst these absolute insane, mentally ill people. But that's what we got to do. So thank the Patrons for that. And I thank all of you for your support. I appreciate it greatly. God bless you and your families.